hear me?
Yeah.
Good? Cool. Thank you guys for coming to the NuHeat floor heating systems demo. So while you guys know, NuHeat is the only company in the industry that carries every type of floor heating option out there. So we're gonna go through just a couple today, but we do carry cable that gets put in with these guides, which you guys have probably seen for a while. Just a quick show of hands, who's actually installed floor heat? Here. Couple back there. Anyone have jobs coming up and that's why you're here to check it out?
Nice.
Others? Everyone shaking their head? Cool.
He knows.
So if you guys have questions, just yell them out, raise your hand, we'll go over them for you. So we have cable that use these guides to install along the wall. We also have the membrane and cable option. The membrane is used as an underlayment, so we'll go through that, a demo over here. We have a mesh system, and also the NuHeat custom mats, which we're known for throughout the industry. The only company that have this type of system. So in the demo today, we're gonna go through the membrane product and the custom mat product. NuHeat carries a 25-year warranty on all our heating products, and then a 3-year warranty on our thermostats. We also have a NuHeat certification program, which will give you a 25-year warranty on the entire floor. So should there be a manufacturer's defect, we will pay to replace tile, thin set, grout, labor, cabinets, whatever we have to do to make sure we get the job repaired. We only sell through distribution, so no worry about selling direct to anyone. And we have sales guys like myself and Matt Yetman all around the country in the US and Canada, in all major cities. And then also any inside sales we'll take care of anywhere else in the US. So you'll always have some sort of service, whether it's face-to-face or over the phone. Today we're gonna go through, the first product is the membrane and cable system. So, like I said, the membrane acts as an underlayment. So instead of having to carry big sheets of Durock to put on top of your subfloor, you just carry up a roll of our membrane to put down. So this will act as an anti-fracture uncoupling membrane. So like Matt's doing here, thin set on the subfloor. We don't require, you can use a modified thin set under and on top of our membrane. So I know not all manufacturers have that, but we do have the option to just use a modified thin set. And for those options, come over to our booth, which is 2 down from here. Also on our website, we give the complete list of those products. If you want to pass these out.
Good. Okay, after I put the membrane on, I take the cable out of the box. On every cable kit that we make comes with a tag with the wattage, the amperage, the voltage, and the ohms. So we're gonna do a quick resistance test to make sure we get a reading that's on the tag.
Yeah, so we do at NuHeat, we do all our installation tests in factory. So we don't require you to use a megger out in the field for any sort of warranty. We measure everything in our factory. All we require is a simple ohms test. These cost 15, 20 bucks at a Home Depot or Lowe's.
So we got a reading of 84.9. Turn my meter on.
So what Matt's doing here is just putting these clamps on the 2 lead wires.
So I'm getting a reading of 86.9 versus 84.9, plus or minus 10%, well within the range of the reading on the tag. So this cable kit is good.
This is a test you just want to do right out of the box, during installation and after installation. Then you know the floor heat absolutely works perfect and you're good to go.
Another device that we use, a lot of times tile guys don't have a meter, so they could use a continuity tester, a fault detector. You put this on during the installation. If something goes wrong, this will sound. It'll beep, it'll chirp, it'll flash. So I'll just put this into the MatSense Pro, also known as our continuity tester.
So after you do your ohms test, of which we just did, you would throw this on during your install. Should you cut a wire with a trowel or anything during installation, the buzzer will go off and let you know, stop what you're doing, call NuHeat, call your sales rep, and we can come out and fix it for you.
Okay, it's hooked up.
Perfect. So that process that Matt just did with the testing and the electric fault indicator, that's something you do with each floor heat system no matter what you're using. So every system will have a lead on it, just like this, that you do those tests on.
And you'll start with the cable system. You'll start at the thermostat location. You'll pull the 10-foot cold lead up into the conduit, into the box, and then you'll work your way into the room.
Yep, so now with our installation, we passed out brochures for you guys. The one that says NuHeat membrane on it, that is this product. So Matt is fitting in the cold lead and the heat wire. Very positive note about NuHeat is our cold lead connection actually fits into our membrane. So you do not have to chisel out any of the membrane to make sure that fits in. So it's keeping the integrity of your underlayment and your floor intact and speeds up the process of installation.
And for this demo, I'm going to do 2 pillar spacing. 2, 2, 2 is going to give me 15 watts per square foot. That's the maximum allowed by the UL. So I'm going to get 15 watts per square foot with this installation.
Yeah, so industry standard is 12 watts a square foot. On the brochures, you'll see that says 2, 3, 2 pillar spacing. We call these little knobs pillars. Sorry. So 2, 3, 2 will give you 12 watts a square foot. If you have excess cable, or if you want to provide more heat in the room, you can go down to 2 pillar spacing. So that's what Matt is doing here.
Struggling, but doing it.
Other design features that we don't have limitations on how far you need to stay from a wall or how far you have to stay from a cabinet or a tub, anything like that. We don't require you to turn your cable after 10 feet. We don't have any of those limitations. So you can get as close to walls as you want. We want you to go all the way under toe kicks. We don't worry about our cable overheating. We've been doing this for 30 years. We know everything that it can do. Anywhere where a foot might possibly step is where we want this heat cable. We don't want you guys to think, the heat cable only radiates about 1.5 inches no matter what system you're using. It's not going to spread out like a foot. So you want to make sure that heat cable is everywhere where you could possibly step.
Okay. The cable snaps right in pretty easily, although I'm struggling with my reel. The cable snaps in pretty simply.
So you just lay out your diagram however you want. So this is a great system for, hey, I need it today, I need it tomorrow. You can run to a distributor, stocking distributor of ours, grab your cable and membrane, and you can design your own custom layout on your own. So for same-day use, same-day install, this is the product you would definitely want to do. If you're doing a hardwood or a laminate, engineered hardwood or laminate, you could self-level over this now. And then you have a flat surface to work on. So you have a glue down or a snap in engineered hardwood or laminate. So we can also go under those. Other areas we can do, showers, any bathroom, mud rooms, sunrooms, basements. That's where we see a lot of our installs going. And then commercially, a lot of guys are using it in lobbies. Similar to like a mudroom where it's going to help soak up all that water, excess water, and dry out the room. Lobbies are being used, and also along floor-to-ceiling windows in commercial buildings. Because really what it's doing is just offsetting that heat loss.
Okay.
Cool.
So also in this cable kit, and I'm not there yet, but it has a halfway point. When you're halfway through it, there's a tag that shows you're halfway through the cable. So it kind of gauges where you are in the room.
Great.
All right.
Also in your thermostat box is the floor heat sensor, temperature sensor.
Oh,
so this is going to run down the wall with your cold lead, and this is what gauges the temperature of the floor. So you're just going to bring it in right into your floor. We say bring it in at least a foot into the room. Okay, and then that just gets thin set down with the heat cable. So that heat sensor, you want to keep it away from any heat vents, the front of a vanity, just because people might put a rug down that might throw off the temperature of the floor. So you want to put it somewhere in the room where it's not going to be affected by possible other heat sources. Okay?
Should we start with the...
Yeah, you want to put the mat in?
Okay, yeah.
Any questions on this cable membrane product? Yes? So he's asking the hardwood install, would you need to use this Underlayment. You don't have to. For the hardwood. Yeah, we would recommend whatever that provider, whatever that engineered hardwood provider says, you should go with. We kind of say that for our laminates and engineered hardwoods. You always want to check with the manufacturer first. Sometimes they'll have a rule where they say you can't go over 85 degrees. On our thermostats, you can say, is this tile or is it laminate? And so you'll say it's laminate, and then the thermostat will never go over 82 degrees. So it'll keep your floor, keep yourself from ruining your own floor, pretty much. Thank you for the question. All right, so now this next product Matt's installing, this is our custom NuHeat mat. This is the only product in the industry like this. It is the fastest, easiest install of any floor heat system out there. You can install 100 square feet in 30 minutes. It's extremely quick. The other brochure you guys have there, it's called the NuHeat mat. On the back of that, there's 70 standard sizes, all the way from a 2 by 3 foot to a 20 by 10 foot square mat. Okay, so we make these in our factory, we stock these at our distributors, and you can pick those up at any time. The other thing we do is a custom NuHeat mat, so that we can make any shape you could possibly come up with. So most master baths these days will have a tub somewhere in the edge of the room, they'll have a separate toilet room. Instead of having to wind out your own cable back and forth, we just make a mat that perfectly fits that room. So you give us the layout with the dimensions of all your wall-to-wall dimensions, place in the toilet, the vanity. We make that mat in only 3 days. So this isn't like a 3-week process, anything like that. We kick back a custom mat in 3 days that looks just like this. It comes out of the box. Thin set your subfloor. It's a latex modified thin set.
I'm still going to do 2 similar tests that I did for the cable. Resistance test on the mat. There's a tag with all the information, wattage, amperage, voltage, and ohms.
Yeah, so we probably don't have to. So it's the same test you're doing with the cable, you're doing with the mats. It's all the same thing.
We got a reading of 160 ohms. Let's see what we come up with. This is done right out of the box. It's done out of the box during the installation and after the installation. Nice. I got 159.4, so right, well within the range.
Perfect. So as long as you're within 10%, you're good to go. And again, this test is only 15, 20 bucks. That machine is only 15,
Matt, could you unhook the test in there for me? Yep. Put that on. Same thing like the cable. I'm going to take the lead, the 10-foot cold lead. That's a standard length for any NuHeat mat. And just do the same. Put the load on either side, the black and white. That represents 120 volt. Put the ground, the stainless steel braid in the middle. Turn it on, no sound is good. Again, if it starts to beep or chirp, something just got cut, nicked, partially or completely, just let you know. What's nice about this installation is, I'll be done in a minute.
So you can already tell from what it took to lay down this membrane, we've already laid down our entire heat mat. So you do not need to put any of your own cables in. On top of this, you normally use a grout float to push it in.
Yep.
Make it
You
flat.
can walk on it, that's just helping the bond. You could use a roller or a rubber float. It's not going to damage it. You would know the alarm would go off.
So think about doing a 100 square foot bathroom. You're literally unfolding this out of the box, making it fitting perfect, and you're done with that job. So if you can imagine if you're a developer and you're doing a condo building and you have 60 bathrooms to install, you can actually schedule this time. With this product, it's really only going to be as good as your installer and if they've done it before.
And then similar to what Matt said before about the probe, this gets spaced about 1 foot to 1.5 feet in between 2 heating elements. You don't want it crossing the heating elements, you want it running parallel. So I'll just pick a channel of wires.
You never want to cross a heat wire, you always want to go in between them.
And just lay it in.
Tape that down, and then you just thin set over that and lay your tile. So you can tell that is an extremely fast way to install floor heat.
So pre-built is the biggest advantage for the NuHeat mat, whether it be a custom mat or a standard mat.
Cool. Real quick, our thermostats. So on the back of the brochures, we have 3 thermostats. The top of the line one is called the Signature. It is Wi-Fi capable, comes with an app on your smartphone, and it's also the only one in the industry that connects with the Nest thermostat. So the Nest is the kind of one that controls your forced air, your forced heat. You can control it from your phone. It knows when you leave your house, come home, when you got to take your garbage out, all that stuff. So we'll communicate with that, and also by next year, we will be able to communicate with Amazon Alexa and all those home devices. Okay, the second one is the Home. Same thing, 7-day programmable, just no Wi-Fi. So you can't connect to an app on your smartphone, but it looks the same, touchscreen, all that. The Element is the one that's just on, off, up, and down. No programmability. That one's good for hotel rooms or a guest bathroom, something like that. Any questions on anything I went over or any other general floor heat, electric, tile questions out there? Yeah. Yeah, so we asked that it be on its own dedicated circuit. So it just depends on the amps. So our thermostats are able to withhold 15 amps on our thermostats. So that would be a 20 amp breaker. We could be either 120 or 240. Whatever system works best for you.
Some of the mats have such low amperage, 1, 2, 3 amps. A lot of times they'll run it off an existing power. But mats that are bigger or larger, we would certainly recommend its own dedicated circuit.
Yep. How much what? Deflection in the floor? Matt, do you know how much can it withstand? I don't know if we've done those exact tests.
You mean weight? Oh, weight, yeah. There's no, you could put, man.
I don't think we've ever ran into a problem.
I'm not aware of any weight restrictions, no. I'm not.
Yep. That's going to be up to your kind of local municipality. So I know in Illinois, it does require 2 pipes, 2 conduit pipes, one for the cold lead, one for the floor heat sensor. So you're going to have a junction box with your thermostat, and then, I know, just in Illinois, that's where I'm from. You have 2 pipes coming down the wall that are stubbed out at the floor. But it just depends on kind of, I think in Wisconsin, you don't even need pipes. So I think it just kind of depends. So, oh, do you have a question, sir? No? No? All right, cool. Well, our booth is 2 down.
Yeah.
7601. It says Invent on it. So
NuHeat.
it's NuHeat Invent. That is our brand. But definitely come by, say hello. We have a little mixer tomorrow too, so come by and ask about that. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.